How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. I'm here with my fiancé.
Thermite.
This is, as always, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. This is Moon Knight, Season 1, Episode 5, Asylum.
Okay.
Asylum.
I think we're just, this is going to be an entire episode in the Asylum then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think an entire episode. I think by the end of it we're going to get out. But, what the hell is going on? Also, Asylum, probably in, like, the seeking asylum sort of...
Yeah, place of safety.
Yeah, place of safety. Like, so, yeah. Anyway, let's jump into it. If you want to get the full length, check it out in the description below. Yeah, I always gotta mention it because everybody's fucking idiots and they keep... I get so much comments from people being like, do you just do a discussion? No, you can get the whole damn full length. It's in the description. Motherfucker, watch it. Okay. Got a lot of answers on our really one mystery in the show.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's one mystery, but it's a very deep mystery.
Oh, yeah. It's got layers to it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it wasn't just one question. It was just a whole, how is this all possible?
Yeah.
Because, so, like, what was your reaction to all this? Like, I was very surprised that it was a, like a split at a point.
Okay.
That it was like a traumatic event, spurred it on, which, is very typical. Yeah. But I was first thinking, they were like that from the very beginning.
Right.
Also because Stephen Grant has, like, a legal identity. But, to be fair, that's probably because of that woman that we know.
Yeah.
And, like, that's also created, like, this block of it's like, well, how do they both have these, like, identities and everything like that?
Yeah.
And he can work a job and do all this. So, I was under the impression that Mark would have been the more, like, made up one.
Yeah.
But...
Like, it is just a really interesting concept of, like, I'm making up a guy who is normal.
Yeah. I mean, that's typically what it is, to be fair. It is typically I'm creating, someone that can take all this, that I'm going to take all this trauma, and they're going to be I imagine it's a lot harder to do the reverse.
Like, I've been seeing a lot of, like, memes where, like, the concept is, like, everyone's got a protector, because it is the, like, I'm gonna make a guy who is a protector.
Okay.
I'm gonna, like, make a guy who, keeps us safe, or I'm gonna, make a guy who does the schoolwork because, that's a very upsetting thing.
Okay. Yeah, I've never, seen that, so, but I also, don't really know anything about much of the stuff, so...
But yeah, I always thought they were split. Like, they weren't an endogenic system is the term for one that's, just sort of like a non-trauma system. Or a, like that the whole time system.
Yeah, that's kind of where I thought we were going. Because, yeah, like, I knew there was, something going on with the mom, as I brought up earlier, but I didn't think we were doing a whole trauma thing like this. Especially because most of the stuff we were getting with Mark was him as an adult. Like, like the dig site stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, like, well, I doubt he would have split right there. So that was why I was thinking, like, but also, like, I was thinking, was Mark hiding this the entire time? Or did he become aware of it at some point and then began to hide it?
Right.
There were so many different... Also, with all this Asylum shit, we're making it go like, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on now.
Yeah, the Asylum thing to me was such a twist because, I'm very conditioned for obvious reasons to think that Asylum is evil.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, in this, the Asylum is, the safe place for Mark. For the most part. Steve goes there too.
Yeah.
But it is, it is a safe place. It is the, like, no, I'm just crazy. That's easier to understand than everything that's actually happening. And B, like... his therapist, who was played by our main, by Arthur, is, like, actively trying to get both of them to open up, like, to achieve the end goal. Whereas, in the previous episode, I thought it was going to be a, like, I want you to be passive, or I want you to not think about this stuff. Like, that kind of a Asylum situation, like, we're keeping you sedated and calm and happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do really like this as a, like, even in the depths of his heart... Mark knows that he should be opening up. That, like, this is the correct thing to do, even if he would never, ever, ever admit it.
Yeah, I mean, even Arthur has wanted to get them, their scales balanced so that way he can, judge them and everything like that. So, like,
Yeah.
that's a part of it too.
Yeah, it is that, like, you are out of order. Like, this is not correct. And now we're getting to a point that is correct.
Yeah, always love a good going through the trauma episode. Going through the past memories in a, a mindscape palace sort of situation.
Yeah. Also, like, this is also a bit where, knowing the comic stuff screwed me over in a sense. Or, rather, like, they were definitely playing on that.
Okay.
Because Mark's backstory is 100% the backstory I know for Moon Knight.
Okay.
Like, the dig site, the, like, assassin who is, gone around the world killing bad guys but feels really awful about it.
Okay.
Like, the only difference really is, I mean, this isn't even really a difference. Like, it is point to point, even, going up to the, the avatar of Khonshu and making the contract. The one difference is, like, up until, the last point I saw Moon Knight, we don't know if any of that, like, we don't know if Khonshu is real.
Okay.
But we know all that stuff is real. It is just this ambiguous, like, did he really make a contract with the moon god in order to do this? Or is that contract just did he just pass out in the desert and think, like, knowing stuff about Khonshu, like, I'm going to use this as a justification to stop being a mercenary, and I'm going to, like, try and be a good person by still doing evil things.
So he doesn't have a healing ability in the comics?
No.
He doesn't have the moon thingies?
He has that, but that's physical.
Okay, so it's not like,
Yeah, it's not making them.
Okay.
But yeah, like, that has been the big pull of Moon Knight, is, like, is he, like, because there is the comic book thing of, he seems a little more durable than most people, a little stronger than most people, but that's a real, like, is that because, A, he's as trained as you can get, and B, he is, a little crazy, like, he will do things that no one else would possibly, do, because, like, he'll punch so hard that he's gonna break his own arm, just because, like, he's not that, like, committed to it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So,
and
like,
I'm guessing there's no Stephen Grant.
Oh, I think there's a Stephen Grant.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so when you were saying there's no supernatural stuff, that's what I thought. We were talking about that way in episode 1, where we thought it was like possession. So the whole time I didn't think there was this. So there is the.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like, he's got split personalities. Like, even like, there's even, like, a persona that is, like, him in a suit, which I think his Steven's, like, transformed form is, like, a reference to.
Okay.
But that, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, like, all the, like, DID stuff is absolutely in the comics.
Okay.
It's just
the
not
whole time I thought that was all original to this.
But yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting why supernatural. Yeah, I thought all the suit and the healing and all that was in the comics, but the DID stuff was not. But
oh no, exactly the opposite.
Okay. Because I was like, man, it's very interesting. Like, they're going, so entirely different in that. But okay, never mind.
But anyways, the reason why I brought all of that up was to say that the last episode and this episode, I think, plays on that if you are already primed to think it's all in his head.
Okay.
Like, in a meta sense, like, of course they wouldn't spend all this time on magic stuff that isn't real. But you could do the big, like, okay, the reason why they went so hard on all the magic stuff is because it is all in his head, and he's not magic.
And again, it's very, like, everything we have seen so far has been not connected to the MCU in any way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think there's been any, like, if I didn't know this was in the MCU and I was watching it totally blind, I don't think there would be anything that would make me go like, oh, this is in the MCU. Like, no passing reference or anything. I don't believe so.
The only passing reference has been in this episode to the ancestral plane. And even that, again, if you didn't know the MCU, you would just think, oh, that's just a reference to some afterlife.
But still, I'm assuming I've seen everything in the MCU. And I'm watching this blind, not knowing that it's part of the MCU or anything like that. Like, but you're right. We got that was in this episode.
Yeah, up until this point, it has been entirely divorced.
Yeah, which again goes into the you being like, okay, well maybe that was a fake writer, and then we're gonna see him in the actual universe, and I can now I can definitely see why you were more primed to believe that.
Yeah.
And why, I mean, because you were also talking about, like, you were like, ooh, what the hell with all the supernatural shit earlier. Again, I thought that was the Steven stuff, but... Also, so, first off, is Mark the first Jewish superhero we have in the MCU?
Well, no, because we have, what is her name? Kate...
Kate Bishop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She's Jewish.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, right before this one. But okay, yeah. Aside from Kate Bishop, like, there's no one else like, Peter Parker, but they haven't established
said
that in the
that,
MCU,
yeah.
so I'm not counting that.
I think in terms of, like, direct, there is, like, something to show that.
Yeah, something.
I don't think we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know in the comments if I'm incorrect about this.
Also, when did we find out that Kate was Jewish?
Well, I guess it's just that her aunt is Jewish, because we see her apartment with the menorah.
Yeah, but we don't know that Kate's Jewish,
That's
right?
fair. Yeah.
There's nothing to state that, like...
Yeah, in the comics she's Jewish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then, probably, but I'm not going to count a menorah in her aunt's apartment, in her aunt's summer home. Like, I'm not going to count that.
But no, you're right then. Like, in terms of... Yeah,
what about the funeral? The funeral. I'll have to go back and check that, but I don't remember. But maybe at the funeral.
Maybe.
Either way, though, so glad we're finally fucking doing that.
Oh, yeah.
One.
Like, it's insane considering how many Jewish characters there are in Marvel.
Oh, yeah. There's so many. But, and then also, I went, is Steven Jewish? Does Steven know he's Jewish?
He might not be Jewish.
Like, when he, like, had their yarmulke, or,
yarmulke.
In his hand, like, he never, like, looks at it and has a reaction to it or anything, which made me go, like, huh, does he know? Like, later in the cabbage, he's like, what's this?
He might not be Jewish. Because, like, he's based on, like, the Indiana Jones stereotype.
Yeah.
So, if anything, he's probably, like, a white Christian guy in his head.
How did he, like, compartmentalize all the Jewish memories away from Steven? But yeah, and to be fair, it's interesting that, like, Steven is the innocent one who doesn't know that his mom abused him, and yet he switched to Steven when he was about to be abused.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was before the point right before he was abused.
And, like, right when he gets, like, it's gonna switch.
Because Steven didn't see that. Like, he never knew that happens.
Yeah, I know.
So it is just a trauma response of him going, well, this isn't happening.
Right.
Like, because he also was not acknowledging that his mom was, like, screaming outside the door. Like, I don't think he could hear it.
But also, Stephen Grant knows no fear.
Yeah.
So, like, it was as if he was making a protector.
Yeah. I guess that's it. It is the protector of none of this is happening. Like, I have a mom, and my mom would be upset if my pens were on the ground. But my mom is not outside. She's not pounding at the door. Like, Mark is explicitly right before that saying, that's not her, that's not my mom, that's not her, that's not her. And then she screams, so we know it's her. And then he says again, it's on her, it's on her.
Yeah. And yeah, like, also, like, as she's coming into the room and everything, he's still just, like, you can see that he is visibly upset, but he is pretending not to be, isn't, like, Stephen Grant has no fear. Also, the mom was like, you're not a human.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that, I think it's just a mean thing to say, but with as much magic shit that's going on here, who knows?
But yeah, boy.
Yeah, good dad though, for the most part. Like, there's always the, like, as he said, like, why didn't you do anything? You were the one who's supposed to fix this. But, at the same time, at least, he wasn't as bad as the mom was. It's the classic search, like, we don't know the whole situation. We don't know how, like, what it was like for him, what he's going through. In terms of, like, he might be in a abusive relationship as well with the mother. Like, we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, during one of the birthdays, he said, like, your mom's getting help.
Yeah.
So, there's something there.
Like, he was trying.
Yeah.
But it was not happening fast enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it took, like, fucking 16 years and it still wasn't happening, so.
Yeah. And there's that, there's that layer as well of, oh, well, you're a boy, like, you just gotta get through it a little bit, she's hurting. Like, especially if, like, if they had this coping mechanism with Steven in there, like, I imagine, he, like, Mark wasn't showing how hurt he was. In the same way that, in the series, he is constantly trying not to show Layla that he's hurting or that anything is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely a compartmentalizer. So, like, his dad definitely knew it was bad, but I imagine even he didn't realize, like, oh, it's bad enough that you would want to go join the military.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. He's good at hiding it.
Yeah.
It probably just, all came out right then. I do love the kind of, like, storytelling device of him as a kid running out, and then we see it as him as like 17, 18-year-old running out. Like, that's great visual storytelling there.
Oh yeah, just like the transitions, the like movement going through the memories, all that, all top notch. Like there was never a point where I was confused, where I wasn't meant to be a little confused. And even those, there were very few times where you're meant to be confused. It's very clean in terms of like this goes to this goes to this. It's just like a second or two of like, okay, where are we now? Okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely appreciate that as someone who's watched a lot of bad television where they're like, well, it's supposed to be confusing, so we're just not going to try and film this well.
Yeah, I hate that. Also, you were right. We were in the asylum / like in the underworld the whole episode.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally thought that you were right in the sense that he was going to be Moon Knight by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't think we were going to kill off Steven. Like, I mean, depending on how this works.
I did stop thinking that they were going to be Moon Knight at the end of this episode when they were like, can you tell Layla to go, because I do think that's how it's going to have to happen. While they're in here, Khonshu's going to have to be freed and get them as the Avatar again, and then they'll be able to be, pulled out.
Yeah, because out of this world right now, my assumption is Arthur, got some guys, they dove into the water, picked up, Steven's body, and, just grabbed the Avatar and, probably freed her, and that's why we're now getting, the souls coming out of the sky.
I thought Layla had it.
Did she have it?
I thought he gave it to her and said, run, get out of here.
Oh, I thought...
Check last episode.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we don't see... let me clarify. So he is, holding it after Layla runs away.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like he puts it in his, coat or anything like that. If anything, he probably put it in the bag.
Yeah, he takes off his bag right before he grabs the axe to start fighting.
Yeah. But, he's holding it in his hand, puts the bag down, and then he's holding the axe, and we can see he doesn't have it in his hand anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, so probably in the bag.
Probably in the
could
bag.
be in a shirt, and they could pull him out and get it that way. But yeah, so he probably does have it, and that's why I was confused. I was like, wait, I thought Layla had it when all that was happening. But damn, so they already resurrected Amit. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, as we saw, but yeah.
Shit. Oh boy.
But yeah, if it's in the bag though, why would they get his body out? I mean,
yeah, I'm guessing they. Yeah, so. That to me is the difference, is if he had it, tucked away in his shirt somehow, and they needed to pull him up, that's a reason why he would be out of the water. If they just got it out of his bag, then he's probably still drowning. Or, yeah, because also, once you fall unconscious, it's better than if you're, struggling underwater.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, you might still have some air in your lungs, / if the water is cold, which it should be in, a crypt, it also, keeps your brain going slower for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we also, to be fair, I don't think he would be drowning because his face is out of the water.
Was it?
We see he lands in it, and then he's just laying there, and his face is out of the water, and then we see him go under the water. But I don't think that was real.
Yeah, it's probably a metaphor.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think he's actually drowning because he was laying there like that for a while, and it wasn't floating. It was just very shallow water.
So yeah, he's probably just laying there.
Yeah. That's my guess.
That makes sense to me.
Because they specifically showed that the water was this around him, so he would still be able to breathe and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, my guess is going to be that when they get Khonshu, it allows them to heal, which then heal the gunshots and all that, but hopefully it will also bring Steven and Mark back together.
Yeah.
In a way that it wouldn't work with any other souls, but because they were two. I mean, in the same way, most people wouldn't have been able to fight off those guys at all because there was two of them. They were able to.
Yeah. I think it is interesting that it is a healing suit, and so we have seen what they look like healed, and that is Steven and Mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think it is going to be a. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, I also just loved all the underworld shit. The big boat, the fucking, I can't remember her name. Tomo, I can't remember what it was, but,
it's that one.
Yeah, loved all the, all that, I don't want to say magic stuff, but just, supernatural stuff, and love it. Love the, mentioning the ancestral plane, and just in general that, all this stuff is real.
Yeah, I mean, I love the continuity of, that is how we see how do I put it? when T'Challa dies temporarily, becoming the Black Panther, he goes to the ancestral plane, or he goes there twice, and both times it is like an actual plane with a tree there. Then the one time Killmonger goes to the plane, it is like the apartments.
Yeah.
And so that
he also goes there in What If, and it's the planes.
Yeah. Yeah, but even in the apartment, if you look outside the window, it is still the plane.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it is like, according to how you perceive it. But it is like it is both. It is how you perceive it, but also it is a place beyond how you personally are perceiving it in a sense.
Like, it can create like a build, like the boat was like the asylum was that building on the boat.
Yeah, but it is also the boat.
Maybe if in Black Panther, T'Challa just turned around, there would have just been an apartment right there. Not an apartment, but like a building that can turn itself into whatever you want it to be or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's none there if you don't need that.
But yeah, I find that stuff so cool.
Yeah.
And it works so well for, the MCU / the Marvel Universe, in that, that is the way it is in the comics. It is like, everything is real to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense for it not to be that. Like, if you want an afterlife to make sense, that's how it has to be.
I mean, unless you want to go for the hardcore, no, it's just this.
Yeah, I mean, you could, yeah. I guess, I mean, like, for an afterlife to be good, fair. I feel like it has to be based off of perception, even. I'm not even saying like they all have to be real, but like afterlife being based on your perception of what a good afterlife would be seems like the only way to make it a good afterlife.
Yeah, otherwise you're always going to get the complaint of like, but that's not what I want, quite.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Anything else you want to say about this episode?
I mean, I think it's
very contained episode.
Yeah, it is extremely cool to end it at the Field of Reeds as this again, like. This idea of, maybe you decide to die here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always a sucker for, giving someone the choice. In the same way that, in superhero stuff, I love the choice of, like, well, you can choose not to be a hero here. In stuff involving death, I love the choice of, this is your potential happy ending. You could just decide, fuck it, I don't want to have to save the world. And because, like, that's what makes you a hero. It is not, like, much like how Khonshu didn't really give Mark a choice. It was this, do you die, or do you do exactly what I want you to do?
Yeah.
I appreciate the moment of, you have to make the choice to do the thing that is so much harder. Or even just, like, being given the choice multiple times. Even if there is this layer of, it's not really a choice, there's still a layer of, but you could have done this. Yeah. You could tap out.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, that's what makes a hero. But yeah, I was going through, I don't think I have anything else left to say. You do. I love the scene of the whole dig site memory, by the way, like him being at the altar, like crawling up to it, about to shoot himself before Khonshu talked to him.
If Mark brings back Steven, do you think they'll be balanced or unbalanced?
I think they'll be balanced.
Because I could see them being unbalanced. Because that does...
Well, again, there's three things. There's either balanced, unbalanced, or chaos.
Yeah.
So do you mean unbalanced? Or do you mean they're still going to be in chaos?
I'm going to say chaos, actually.
Okay.
Because, like, that is a positive for them, in that it protects them from the Amit's, like, insta-judge.
That's fair.
Like, my idea is that one of them dying allows them to get out of the afterlife, because they are now balanced. But then, if they become unbalanced after they're alive again, that gives them protection.
Well, how would being balanced get them out of the afterlife?
Because that was the whole thing, is, like, they couldn't leave the afterlife because they weren't balanced.
Right, yeah. I was thinking, like, well, they would have to be stuck there because they're balanced and now they're in the... I was thinking, like, your scales are balanced and then we'll get you before you're in the afterlife. Because they're in the underworld, they're not in the afterlife yet.
Right.
Because now
he's
Mark's in the afterlife.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is, of course, assuming that he can escape the Field of Reeds.
Yeah. Considering, Black Panther, I guess... Is the ancestral plane of the afterlife, or is that the underworld? Like, is that the in-between?
I believe that is the afterlife.
Then, yeah, I assume you would be able to leave then. So, yeah, I assume that's how it will work.
Yeah.
And considering, maybe, like, Steven's body will stay trapped there, but that can't be how it works. It's not a physical body there. But, yeah... Do you think there's any significance to blowing out the birthday candles and one of them didn't get blown out?
think so. I think it is like a sign of unbalance.
Okay, maybe. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I do think it is a sign. I think I can't get it, but
Okay.
I mean, I do think it is something, but I'm not sure what it means.
Fair.
Uh,
But yeah, because I'm curious as, if we're gonna end this with a big, like, balance is good, or a, like, a chaos can be good if used appropriately.
yeah.
We could go either way.
Oh yeah.
Because, same with Khonshu, same with the, like, general, like, this is not a perfect thing, it's not necessarily even a good thing, depending on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, better than the other choice.
Yeah. And yeah, I do like that we had to get in that position again.
Mhm.
Like, want to. Okay, that's it. We'll see you guys for the finale.
Oh boy.
Until then,
Mhm.
get the fuck out of here.